We're heading to Lansing now, where a new session is in full swing, and some lawmakers are looking to help Michiganders. A new bill is making its way through the legislature aimed at tackling soaring utility costs. The bill would lock in rates for multiple years, giving homeowners more predictability. It also pushes utility companies to plan better, cut costs, and improve efficiency. And the author of that bill is State Senator Kevin Hertel, who serves the 12th district over in Clair Shores. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Priya. It's great to be with you.
And on such a day like today, very timely, let's talk about this bill, because I think there's a lot of folks who would support some protections for homeowners.
Yeah, everywhere I go in my district, and I think my colleagues across the state are seeing the same thing. We're hearing about how higher costs across the board on so many things are squeezing families. But there's no doubt that utility bills are a huge piece of that. And we've seen in my area, double-digit rate increases year over year in the recent past. And so we looked at the current policy and wanted to figure out ways that we could make sure we're creating more predictability for families, more sustainability for these bills that they're receiving every single month. And we came up with this plan to make sure that we have a multi-year rate plan, 3 years, for utilities to be able to apply for any rate increases. Currently, it is 1 year, and so that's why we see those faceted rate increases across the board year over year. This will create some stability and make sure that the utilities are planning in a responsible way for those costs.
What would you say to folks who say, this sounds too good to be true, this would just be a pipe dream?
Well, I think it's something we can do that's real and tangible. I think we're all talking about trying to find ways to address the increasing costs that so many across our state are experiencing. And this is something the legislature can take action on right now that will actually have an impact. So we stop seeing these large increases year over year. It essentially freezes those rates for 3 years so that as families, we can plan, make better decisions, and it holds the utilities accountable. And I think that's something we should all be doing.
Let's talk about that for just a second, because we've heard from utility companies before when there have been movements to try to rein in some of these rising costs. And they say, hey, look, the environment is changing. The climate is changing. When we get a massive storm, it requires massive investment to clean up. And that cost is eventually passed on to the homeowner. What is your response to energy providers who say that in today's climate, with things that are changing, a rate freeze might not be actually effective, might not work for what they need to do, what they're up against?
Well, I think we should always plan for things that might happen, right? And so that emergency planning should be built in as we look at that 3-year plan. And things will always happen outside of that plan that we have to deal with. But what we know today is that these rates are too high for families across all of our communities. And so this just puts some more regulation in place so that we can anticipate those future needs, coordinate our electric and gas at a level that allows us to have a little bit of stability, and it incentivizes the utilities to reduce their spending. And I think that's what we really should be looking at.
What is the likelihood a bill like this could actually make its way to the governor's desk, become law here in Michigan?
Well, there's no doubt that every legislator is hearing this from their communities. I talk with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle every single day. We all have families that are struggling to get by right now, and a big part of that are these utility bills. And so I am hopeful that as we have hearings in the Michigan Senate on this bill, that we hopefully get it to the floor, that it will have bipartisan support. We can send it over to the House Representatives and have them take action as well. But there's no doubt that we as legislators need to realize what's going on across our state, understand that families are struggling to get by, and we should be doing everything that we can to make life a little bit easier for them. And this is one way, a simple way, that we can do that right now.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It'll be interesting to see how this progresses there in Lansing. We'll, of course, continue to follow this story. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Priya. Have a great day.
You too.